Another way to think of faith and science is like a map. It can tell us which way is north and south, east and west, but science can't tell us what's the right way to go. For that, we need a compass. And the compass is our values, our heart, and for those of us who believe in God, our faith.
Na dit antwoord wil Katharine graag een groot misverstand uit de wereld helpen.
We often are told that there is a conflict between science and faith, and we are also told that all scientists are promoting this conflict. But when you look at the data, and one of my colleagues, Elaine Eklund at Rice University, is a sociologist who has actually looked at the data. She surveyed 1,700 research scientists at top universities in the United States, and she asked them questions about their spirituality, their belief in God. What she found is 70% of research scientists in the US would describe themselves as spiritual people. The idea that all of scientists believe that science and faith is in conflict is actually not supported by the data. But we have people at both ends of the spectrum who have devoted their lives to perpetuating this idea. On the one hand, we have people like Richard Dawkins, who I believe has essentially turned science into a religion. So he has confused his science for his faith.
Faith, how it behaves like a kind of brain virus, infecting generations of young minds. How it perpetuates outdated and dubious moral values.
At the other end, we have people like Ken Ham in the United States and Answers in Genesis who have confused their faith for their science.
My starting point is God's word is true, and I'm saying when I start with God's word, I can explain why DNA is an information system and a language system. I can explain why there are fossils over the earth. I can explain why there are flood legend cultures all over the world.
So rather than understanding that science explains what we see and faith explains what we do not see, they want one to explain everything. And that's where we get into the problem, is where we confuse our faith with our science, or even more today, when we confuse our political ideology with both. Because today, it's gotten to the point now where, especially in the United States, to be a conservative Republican, you have to agree with a whole list of topics. You have to agree that the Earth is young, evolution is false, climate change is a hoax, immigration is a bad thing. If people look or seem different than us, then they should not have the rights that we have. There's this whole list of things that when you actually examine them are inconsistent with both our faith and our science.
Er is een prachtig onderzoek in Nature gedaan, dat artikel moet je eigenlijk lezen. 1906 en 1996, 90 jaar tussenruimte. De volgende vraag is daar gesteld, namelijk: geloof je in een God die jouw gebeden hoort en verhoort? En die vraag is in 1906 door 39,8% met positief. Positief, hè? Heel concrete vraag. Niet religieus geïnspireerd, zoals dat andere onderzoek. En daarna is dus dezelfde vraag gesteld 90 jaar later. En was het binnen de marge hetzelfde getal. Het is in Nature gepubliceerd, zeer de moeite waard. En ook een van de zeer weinige, want dat is ook het andere verhaal. Ja, het stort helemaal in de wetenschap. Niet waar.
Maar feit blijft natuurlijk dat het aantal niet-gelovige wetenschappers groter is dan het aantal niet-gelovige gewone mensen. Ja. Dus wetenschap doet dus iets met je geloof, of juist niet.
Ja, wetenschap doet iets met je. En dat weet ik ook uit ervaring. Het kan je compleet absorberen. En dat betekent dat andere zaken, geloof, misschien je huwelijk of wat dan ook, onder druk komen te staan.